Alright, so we've just received a new package from Oxbeam. Come in a few months ago actually, but we're finally getting onto it now. So Simon has sent me a switch panel, and it's basically a solution to a problem I didn't know I had. So this is the Oxbeam 8-gang multifunction switch panel. It's got multiple colours and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up right now. We're going to go through a couple of the components, talk about how easy the setup process is, and then I'm going to go out and fiddle around with some dangerous wiring and see if I can't burn down the car. Alright, so now that we've got it all unboxed, just talk about a couple of components we've got here. First of all, we have the main switch assembly. We'll open that up in a sec. We have the switch panel itself, which you mount anywhere in your car. I'd just like to say, it's very nice, because it's all made out of metal. When I was looking at the picture of this, I was thinking it was all going to be plastic, but it's all metal surround. Has a little waterproof plug on it for when you go swimming, and you get water all through the cab. We also have a 60 amp fuse for running the mains to it, like from your main battery, your lithium or whatever you want to run. We have a very long cable, so you can basically put the switch panel wherever you like. You've got some mounting brackets. There's a couple of different ways, I think. Not 100% sure, but that's one of them. And that other bracket there is another way, like depending on where you want to mount it in the car. We get a sticker. You get this massive panel of little stickers to put onto the switch panel itself, so you can have pretty much whatever you want. And there's a couple of blank ones here if you want to write in with a little white pen to show what that switch actually is. Some mounting screws, a little tiny fuse for something, another little special wire for something, a very detailed instructions manual, which I'm going to say I'm not going to read, but after about 4 hours into the job, I'm probably going to get this out. This is going to come out of the rubbish bin for me to have a gander at. And they give you a few zip ties, which is probably not going to be enough for where I'm going to install it or how I'm going to install it, but it's a nice addition in the box. Yeah, so that there is everything in the box, and we'll open this up and run you through how it works. Alright, so this here is the switch assembly. This is the main hub of the entire situation here. Now we pull a cover off. Cover is plastic, but it seems fairly sturdy. Bunch of fuses inside with one of those little fancy fuse tools, so you don't have to use cut and pliers. Here is all of the insides. It's all sealed up. All you got to do is run your positive and negative from either your light bar, your lights, whatever you need to run. You run it straight into the positive and negative on this. Has its own little fuse, and that's it. No relays, nothing. No extra wires. So everything runs into here first, and then the positive and negative here runs out to your main battery that you're going to be running this off. And then these other little plugs here, I don't know what both of them are for, but one of them is to run to your switch panel. So if you put this on the dash, you can put that under the bonnet or in the back of your car. Run all of your main wires to that, and then all you got to do is press these buttons, and just magic just starts happening, because all of the relays and everything that the lights need to work are inbuilt into the main box, the main, whatever they want to call it, switch assembly. In the main switch assembly, everything lives, and it's nice and light. 2 mounting holes, and you're done. Happy days. Let's go get it put into the car and see if it'll work. Alright, so it took a little bit longer than expected. Probably about 2, maybe 3 days to get this wired up. But we got it done in the end. The instruction manual is safe. It didn't go in the bin. It was pretty much used throughout this whole thing. We have a bunch of excess wire and tools and shit everywhere in here, and here is the main switch assembly, like I was talking about before. Pull the cover off. Now, this one on the right, on the left, I said I didn't know what it was for, but now I do. The one on the left is for the accessories. So all I've done is just wired that straight into the amplifier. So when the amplifier turns on, Bob's your uncle, and we have power. Next one beside that is to actually run the switch panel in the front, which we'll talk about in a second. Here's the power to the main thing, and then power out to the lithium battery behind me. And then we just had to hook up a couple of wires from the roof. Couldn't have been that hard. So now I'll show you the good stuff. We'll get into the front. Here's our main switch panel, like the main part. Just hooked it into the ashtray, still functional. You can set up, have these to whatever you want, depending on where you put the wires. I've just got my main 42-inch light bar up the top. Turn that on, we got 42. And then we've got my left lights, and my right lights, and my rear. There's a couple of cool things you can do with this, other than just put different stickers on and change the colour. So you can run the lights on different modes. We've got 3 different modes. We've got a regular mode just for the light to come on. The second mode, which is your blue one, is just for having the light pulsate. And then we can set the third one to full on strobe light, which is real good for the neighbours. Yeah, and you have unlimited colours to choose from, and yeah, there's an app which I'll run through now. The app can be downloaded from the App Store, the iOS Store. They have a little QR code on the back of the instruction manual. Here it is here, we'll open her up. I've already pre-named everything. We've also got all of our, like the light bar, both left and right lights, and the one that's on the back. You can also go through, change all the colours, and it changes in real time. Pretty fancy. You can also adjust the brightness level of the actual switch panel. And we'll go back to green, and then you can power on the lights. If you liked the Oxbeam switch panel, go onto their website. I'll leave it down the bottom. Go on and check out the switch panels they have. They have a few different models, some without RGB, some without app control. You've got some that are just got 4 buttons on it if you need to put it in a smaller location or something. They also have ones with waterproof covers, so maybe you can hook it up in a boat. That'll be cool. And you can put it in your, you can put one in your buggy, put one in your four-wheel drive, anywhere you want. They also give me a discount code, Mr. Simon, NSK1, I believe. I'll put it down the bottom as well. Thanks for watching. See you later.